Hi class. So the purpose of this video is to replicate what we would normally do on the first day of class if we were on campus, right? So the first thing I want to do is introduce myself. So my name is Tyler Maley, and I'm math faculty at Marion Technical College. So here's me on the left, and on the right is my wife, Molly Maley, and she's a sixth grade English teacher at Grant Middle School. So this picture, we're at Ashland University at a Balloon Fest, which they have every year in the summer around July 4th, and they have fireworks. It's really a fun time if you ever get a chance to go. Um, so, so like I said, my name is Tyler Maley. I've been a full-time math professor for 4 years now at Marion Technical College. I've been instrumental in all of the new math curriculum changes that have been occurring. So I was able to secure 4 grants total. So I got a Math Mini grant, $500, and then I got a $20,000 grant through the Higher Department of Higher Education, and then I was able to secure $8,000 grant, and that grant is going to help me fund a statistical study that I'm going to do next year during fall and spring to be able to better match our placement scores with the new math courses I developed. And then I was able to get a $150,000 grant that I just got word of to help fund our new math initiatives and our new coursework, and doing some different things to help support that. And then I'm also part of a $1.6 million grant submission through the National Science Foundation with Ohio State University. So hopefully we're able to secure that as well. So been very busy with grants lately. I teach a lot. I'm also I have a lot of experience with college. So I've worked as a student worker. I've worked as a math tutor. I've worked at various different roles at the college, and now full-time math faculty. Served on lots and lots of committees. I've had an interesting experience with college also. Right out of high school, graduated from Northmore High School. I went to University of Toledo for a couple of years, and then so I experienced living in a dorm and whatnot, and then became a dad and moved back home and went to Ohio State University, where I was able to secure 3 degrees. So I have Associate of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and I got a Master's in Math Education. So I worked while being a full-time dad, and so I really understand what it feels like to juggle many things. And I'm currently working on my second master's, a Master of Science in Mathematics through Shawnee State University. And that program is a hybrid program, so I have a lot of experience taking coursework online in mathematics, and also I recently completed a teaching online certificate through Quality Matters, which is an organization to have high quality online learning. So I feel like with that and all my personal experiences, I hope to make this a good class and a good fit for you. And I just want you to know that I'm human, and you can reach out to me, and I will help you. I understand what you're going through. And my wife is also currently working on her first master's, so she got a Bachelor of Arts through Ohio Northern University, and then she's working on her Master of Arts at University of Findlay, and her program is completely online, so I rely on her to on her advice also through her experiences, to see how she would like, if she were my student, if she would like how I have things set up. Right. So then another picture I was going to show you. So these are a picture of my boys. So this boy here on the left, this is my oldest son, Preston. He's 8, and he's very active in baseball. He'll be a 3rd grader at Galion City. And this is a picture of him and his best friend. This is Jackson. It's not my son, but his best friend. They're part of the Johnny Appleseed Baseball Club, and they also both play on another team together through Galion City Schools, which I help coach. So we spent a lot of time on the baseball field, and here they're really excited. They got second place at the Marion tournament not too long ago. So we're on the baseball field every day, just about. And then this little guy on the right, this is my youngest son, who's 19 months. His name is Bruce. All right. All right. So the Marion Tech website seemed to be not working very well. I was just going to bring up this flyer. If you go to www.mtc.edu/mathematics, that's a website that I helped organize to put together with our webmaster to communicate all these changes to the students, and then also general information to our faculty and staff to have that. So this first page doesn't really mean probably mean much to you anymore. This was our transition chart. But now we're in summer of 2017, and all of the new courses are in place, and all the old courses are now gone. So we're fully implemented. And then on the second page here, this is just to give you an overview of our math pathways. So this lists the majority of our math classes and how the sequencing and how they all flow together. So this course is on the stats pathway. So a big thing that that I wanted to create was 3 distinct pathways for students and degree programs to be able to pick from, rather than making every major have just one math class. They now have an option to pick between one of these dark blue core college courses, right? So I worked with all the program directors and to help choose what math class would be the most appropriate for that particular field of study, right? So the way I try to have an analogy of this is, medicine is a really big subject. There's many different areas you can specialize in. You have a chiropractor, dentist, general family physician, a surgeon, oncologist, and so forth, right? There's many different types of medical doctors. Well, math is very much like that, right? Math is like medicine. It's this huge subject with many different areas, and where mathematicians can specialize in particular areas and different within the mathematics field. So I don't think that we necessarily need to have one math class for all. Historically, it's always been everyone needs to go STEM, calculus track, and that's probably what most of you have experienced. But I really want to create a positive experience and create a math class that impacts your career, helps you advance, and is also transferable, right? So you're in the statistics pathway, which is a very popular and a very good pathway. So my area of focus is the QR pathway and the stats pathway. I coordinate both pathways. And I have a deep appreciation for statistics, and in fact I've often contemplated getting a PhD in statistics, right? Because I just really see the usefulness and the utility, and I really want to help learn more to share more with my students, and also just because I really enjoy it. And since I spend a lot of time on the baseball field, if I get a chance, I bought a book called Teaching Statistics Using Baseball. So it's a textbook that you can use to teach statistics with a baseball focus, and I thought about maybe putting some baseball references, examples, into this class. So hopefully I can get a chance to read that. All right, so if you log into Canvas and click on our course, right, this will bring you to the home page. And my contact information is here at the bottom, so it's easy to get to. But I'm going to go into modules on the left. then click on the Getting Started agenda. So I break everything into weekly modules, and the Getting Started module is before week 1, so it has like all the prior to week 1 materials, beginning of the term materials to help get you started on the right track. So I just want to go over the course syllabus, right? So we'll just download this, save this in downloads. Right. So you can read this on your own. I just want to touch base on a few things. So of course, here's my contact information. This is a 3 credit hour class. Here's my office. So feel free to reach me by telephone. Probably the best way to get a hold of me is by email. So I get email to my phone. So that's definitely the best way. I check that regularly. And also with email, you can expect a response. Oops, as a hyperlink. You can expect a response from me within about 24 hours, typically, maybe 48 hours on the weekend if I'm out of town. But email is a good way to get a hold of me, and you can also come to my office. So my office hours are by appointment this term, so you can email me. We can set up an appointment if needed. So here's a course description about things that we're going to be learning about. So it might not, these terms might not mean a lot to you now, but by the end of the term, hopefully you'll understand what those terms are fully. So the textbook we're using is Essential Statistics through by Gold, Ryan, and Wong. Right, this is a Pearson text, and this is a very good text. I hope that you guys will like it. I researched a lot of textbooks, and I thought this was one of the best textbooks for content, price, and also it was an easy read. So I feel like it's an enjoyable read. It's not too technical. I think it really helps explain things, explain the content very thoroughly and very easily. So statistics is a very, very important field, very useful, and our society is becoming more and more data, right? Like I have a Fitbit that records data about me all the time. How many steps I take, when I'm moving, when I'm not moving, how many calories I'm burning, my instantaneous blood, not blood pressure, but heart rate, right? So it takes a lot of data constantly, right? So then here under other resources, you will need Microsoft Excel and R, which is a statistical package, right? And R is free to download. So if you go back to the Getting Started agenda, I actually posted a video here already that will walk you through on how to download R and also Office 365. So Office 365 you can download for free, but you definitely need to have Excel downloaded on your computer to be able to complete the coursework that we're going to be doing, and also with R. So I wanted to use that technology in the course. Really to give you some experience with applications that you would use in the workforce, right? So if you're going to do statistics on the job, you're going to use Excel, you're going to use something like R or SPSS, but I didn't want to use SPSS because it's very expensive, so I chose R because it's free. But if you have experience with R and Excel, that's something worth mentioning to an employer, and that would be impressive, right? So I wanted to help give you a good edge in statistics. So calculator usage, you will need a graphing calculator for this course. So I recommend a TI 83 or 84, right? Either one will work perfectly fine. In fact, I'll show you how to use it on screen, right? So I have an emulator here I just popped up. So this is a TI 84 plus Silver Edition, but any TI 83 or 84 work. It doesn't matter what it says after that. They'll all handle what we need them to handle. But I'll be able to show you the functionality of them online like this. Right. So you can read over the major course learning objectives. So these are set by the Higher Department of Higher Education for the statistics transfer module, right, which this class is designed for, so for transfer. So next is the course outline. So you notice I have everything broken down into weeks as I do in Canvas. So here I give like lecture topics and then what assignments are due. So notice that like week 1 runs 6/5 to 6/11, but the assignments are due June 12th, which is a Monday, right? So after the week's over, your assignments are due that Monday at 11:30, right? So it's like that every week until we get to week 8. On week 8, July 28th is not a Monday, it's a Friday at 11:30 a.m. So I have to have assignments done early because I have to have grades in by that Monday at noon. So I needed the weekend to wrap up the grades. So that's why this is a Friday, right? So just make note of that. But the other weeks, which the 8-week term will fly by very quickly, but it's set up to be due Monday at 11:30, right? So this is one thing that that I thought I would experiment with. Previously, I had all my assignments for the week in my online courses due at Sunday at midnight, right? But what I often found is many times students would wait until Sunday to do the assignments, and they'd have technical difficulties, or maybe they're wrapping up the assignments on Sunday, and they'd have technical difficulties, or they'd have questions, and I might not always be available on the weekend, and there's no one to ask for help. So I thought if I would try having them do Monday near the midday, that would give you some time to get on campus on Monday morning and get some things fixed if needed, right? Or get some last minute help, right? So hopefully that will work out nicer and give you a little more time, a little more flexibility to get things done, right? So then next, the good stuff, what you're probably wanting to know, grading procedures. So there will be homework in this class. So all the homework will be done in MyMathLab. It must be done by the due date. And you can work homework problems over and over and over again until you get them correct, as long as it's before the due date, right? After the due date, you can still work on the problems, but you won't be able to change your score, right? So another type of assignment that you'll see are concept checks. So you'll have one of these about once a week. I made a concept check for every chapter. So this will be completed in Canvas. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there will be Excel and R assignments. So there are 3 R assignments and 1 Excel assignment in the class. And those will be collected through Canvas also. And then there are quizzes, which will be in MyMathLab. There's a quiz for every chapter. I give you 2 attempts on every quiz, and I will take the highest of the 2 attempts to calculate into your grade. And then there are exams that are proctored that have to be given on campus, or if you live a big distance away, I'll talk with you in a week or 2 about how to secure an alternate testing location if that's something that you need. But you can't take it at home. It must be at a college, at a university. So there's a midterm and a final exam. So here's the standard grading scale, and here is the weighting of how I weight the assignments. So homework's 10%, concept checks 10%, Excel and R assignments 15%, quizzes 15%. Excuse me. And then each exam is 25%. Right? And just a note that I will round your grade to the nearest whole number when I calculate. So if you end with an 89.67%, let's say, I will round that up to 90% and you will get an A. Right? So I round to the nearest whole number. Right? So something real important with the credit hour definition. So if we follow this table, so we're doing an 8-week course, 3 credit hours. This is online, so you can expect 18 hours worth of work per week and a 3 credit hour class. That's 8 weeks, right? So if you're taking 2 3 credit hour classes, that's roughly a full-time job, right? Roughly 40 hours a week. So, and that's a minimum, right? So I would expect to spend 18 to 20 hours in this class every week, right? So you want to make sure you plan accordingly. So academic misconduct, right? So you can read over this, right? But this is a very serious thing. You can't copy off someone's work. You can't try to cheat. Any kind of dishonest practices, will have negative consequences. It's not something fun to go through. So please don't do this type of thing. If you feel unsure if you're allowed to do it, you can ask me, but most likely if you feel like you're questioning if it's ethical to do, it's probably not. So an example of this is you can't Excel, share Word files, Excel files, right? That's still cheating, right? Anything like that. So we can't, all the work submitted in this course must be of your own, right? Financial aid reporting. So I do, since this is an online course, I do submit attendance still on a weekly basis. So if you're completing the assignments and I mark you as present, if you're not doing any of the assignments, then you're marked as absent, right? And that can have effects on your financial aid, right? Then listed here, college graduate competencies. So you can read over these. So there is a mathematics college graduate competency, and this course will be assessed for mathematics CGCs. So if you look in the getting started module, there's more information on this. So here, if you click on this link, right, you can get more information. So it tells you the general statement in the syllabus, and then what the mathematics CGCs are, right? There's eight areas that the college deemed appropriate for all of our graduates to know in mathematics. And if you click here and open up this PDF, you can see the actual rubric that I'll be using to assess this, right? So go back to the getting started agenda. So we went over the course syllabus, and then here if you go to the syllabus addendum, you can also read through this. So the syllabus addendum is a lot about student services that are offered, right? So I would definitely read over this and let me know if you have any questions. So things such as tutoring, if you believe you have a disability that you would like some accommodations, right? There's formal processes to go through to get that approved, right? So let me know if you have any questions about that. There's a link here for math tutoring, right? So you can check this out. So the form of tutoring for this summer is we'll have the e-tutoring. So this is online tutoring that you can participate in, and there are typically evening, weekend hours, also traditional during the day hours to get help with mathematics and statistics in particular. And all the tutors are credentialed college faculty, so you're not just getting some another peer, another student that might not have a lot of experience with the content. So you're getting some high quality tutoring in that sense. And then another option is we have one-on-one peer tutoring on campus. So if you go to this link, you can fill out the request form to potentially get matched up with a tutor. So this would be if you want to meet one-on-one for a weekly basis, right? And the e-tutoring you can do on a weekly basis. You can do that as often or as little as you'd like, right? But that's a good resource. And then you can also click on this link and download this. This is math help websites that I put together over the years. So you can check these out. There's some good resources like Patrick Just Math Tutorials is good, Khan Academy, and so forth. So those are good resources if you're struggling with some content to get some extra support. All right. So math tutoring we did. So connecting your Pearson and Canvas account. So hopefully you already followed this link and went through the procedures to connect your Pearson and Canvas account. So I'll show you a little bit of the functionality, but it makes life a lot easier with these two combined, right? Makes it very nice. And then, as I already mentioned, here's the video to download R in Office 365, so make sure you follow that. That way you have everything ready to go for when we need it. And then here's a link for questions about anything discussion board. It looks like I need to change this. There. So I'm the course designer for statistics and quantitative reasoning, and I had that for Ryan Chan for his statistics course. So I got that fixed. All right. So the questions about anything. This is a discussion board where you can post questions like you would typically ask in the classroom, right, in front of everyone. So these are questions that wouldn't be embarrassing, things that you wouldn't mind asking in front of everyone, and I can respond. And so everyone can see just in that same sense, right? Because if you have questions about content or how things will work in the course, there's probably someone else that has the same question, maybe more than one. But if you do have things that are more personal that you wouldn't want to ask in front of the class, right? Please don't post those here. Actually, send me an email that's private, so that way that way it's not seen for everyone, right? Alright, so if we click back on modules, right, you'll see I have everything organized by week, as I said. So if we click week 1 agenda, I'm trying this term, trying to organize my materials for the week in this table format. So here you notice it says assignments due by, so there's the date that the assignments are due by, and things are organized in this chart. So step 1, you want to read in the textbook, and like I said, this is a really good textbook. I highly recommend that you read that. And then here in this row, I'll post any notes and resources that will be helpful. And then number 3, this is where I'll post my lecture videos. And then in 4, this is where you can access assignments, right? And it's really nice. So like if I click on the course introductions assignment, this is a Canvas assignment, and it brings me right into that assignment, right? So here are directions and the points that are for each, and you can see some looks like Sierra already posted into this, right? So it's nice and easy to get to. If I go back, this chapter 0 homework is on my MyMathLab assignment, right? But if I click in this is a new feature in Canvas this term also. When I click into this, oh, we can't take. Okay. Well, let me fix this really quick so that way you can see this. So I need to change the date of that assignment so you can access it now. So excuse me for a moment. There. So now I should be able to get into this, right? So if I go back where I was in week 1 agenda, if I click on the chapter 0 homework, it should pop up, right? So now I don't actually have to go into my MyMathLab, right? I can do it right in Canvas. If I click question 1, it opens up the link for my MyMathLab, right? I'm not actually in my MyMathLab at the moment. So I can work everything through in a nice, easy fashion instead of like going back and forth between both systems, right? So this is very cool, very nice. Really excited about that. Also about MyMathLab. So to access MyMathLab, I don't know if you saw, but you click the MyMathLab tab here on the left, and then you will only see these buttons here. I would recommend just clicking on MyMathLab Course Home each time, and that will launch you into the website, right? And you'll get all the features. If you click just all the assignments, that's the only thing you can do is just assignments, right? Where the course home launches you in, where you can access the ebook, you can access a multitude of things, right? And then here, if I go to, so you don't have this button grade sync, right? But I have the settings here, so this is something new also. So I've been able to sync grades in the past, but I've had to do it manually. And now they have this new option to sync grades automatically, right? So I have that check mark as yes. And again, syncing grades automatically seems great, but I'm not 100% sure on what that means. I haven't, this is the first time using it, so I'm not sure if that means that, every night at midnight it's going to sync automatically. It's going to sync automatically every hour, right? I doubt that this is going to be instantaneous. So when you complete assignment, it's going to be automatically grade updated. So it might take some lag time, right? So take that in consideration. If you can change your grade in MyMathLab, it might not show in Canvas, instantaneously, right? So if we go here into MyMathLab, so this is where we can access assignments, right? So like here, if I go to assignments, I can also access the homework this way. So you can use the links in Canvas or go into MyMathLab and do it within the MyMathLab platform. So like here, I can go to Chapter 0 homework, open up question 1, and I can work this through, right? And here question help, so there are different help buttons here you can use. If you click Ask My Instructor, it will send me a link to this exact web page so I can see exactly what you're working on. So the Chapter 0 homework is meant just to help get you used to MyMathLab and how to enter answers and so forth. And you can navigate to the different questions here and so forth, right? So this should be helpful for you to learn how to use MyMathLab. Right. So then, another thing I was going to show you is how to access the ebook. So if you only purchase MyMathLab access code, that's fine. You can still have a copy of the textbook. But if you're like me, I prefer to have a hard edition. You could purchase a hard edition also. Could probably rent it or find it fairly cheap used, like on Amazon or on the campus bookstore. So if you go to Multimedia Library, you can access it through there or by clicking on the EText link. Right. Alright. This website seems to be going a little slow today. Alright, so I can click View EText for your course and should launch me right into it. Right, there we are, right? So, don't worry with the ebook, you still get every single page that's in the typical text, right? So you can navigate here, like if you want to go to section 1.3, you can just click and go right to where you want to go, right? You can zoom in and out, lots of different functions. You can even print, like if there's one page you really, really like and you want to print it out for reference, you can certainly do that also, right? Lots of features in the book. Right. Alright, so that's probably good for MyMathLab for now. So I showed you modules, discussions, announcements. Is grayed out for now because I haven't sent an announcement yet. But once I do, you'll be able to go in here and access announcements. So anytime I want to send an email out to the whole class, I'll post it as an announcement first, and depending on what your settings are within Canvas, most of you by default will get an email saying that I posted an announcement. So I like doing that because it keeps a nice record here of all the important information I send out to the entire class and then you also get that by email, right? And just something to clarify is that here, this inbox, which I don't want to click on because I don't want to show any student emails, like confidentiality, but you have an inbox feature also. I just want to make sure you understand that that's different than MTC email, right? This inbox within Canvas is a Canvas messenger, so it's only within Canvas. It's not actually your MarianTech email, right? In order to get to your MarianTech email, you have to go to MarianTech's website, which MarianTech's website wasn't working earlier. Let me see if it's working now. But if you go to www.mtc.edu, nope, it's not working. Huh. So in the top right corner, there's like an envelope icon for your mail. If you click on that, you can log into your MarianTech email, right? So your MarianTech email is through Outlook, which is different than your Canvas email, right? So I highly recommend that you check your MarianTech email every day, right? That's how I'm going to be communicating with you. And just to be sure, if you go into settings, and then let's see. Course statistics. Trying to remember how to change. Oh, I think you have to do it here under account. Yeah, and then you can go into notifications. Excuse me. Yeah, so if you click on account and then click on notifications, then you can bring this up and change how frequently you get notifications about things, right? So if you want to put, discussion posts that they get, you get those right away, and you can do that, right? Or get a daily summary or whatnot, right? And you can turn off certain ones too if some of them you're not too interested about, right? So highly recommend you check these settings and make sure that you get notified for important things, like if I post an announcement and so forth. You definitely want to get that information, and I would just have everything pushed out to your MarianTech email, so that way you're getting everything in one place, right? All right. So I think that was everything. All right. So feel free to email me or post in the questions about anything discussion board if you have questions about anything.